From hyper-president to convicted conspirator, Nicolas Sarkozy jailed 5 years over alleged Libyan campaign cash. Denounced as a scandal, French far-right leader Marine Le Pen warns it's a blow to the rule of law. The verdict shakes France's right, polarizes a nation, and Sarkozy vows to fight until his last breath. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy was sentenced to 5 years in jail on September 25th for criminal conspiracy over attempts to raise campaign funds from Libya, a spectacular downfall for the conservative who led France from 2007 to 2012. According to a Reuters report, the sentence, which will soon make Sarkozy the first post-war president of France to be imprisoned, was harsher than many expected and stunned allies and foes alike.
Le tribunal a été plus loin.
The court went further by solemnly declaring that the media part, French investigative online media, document that was the basis for this procedure was, and I quote, a forgery. I was referred to this court for 4 offenses. For 3 of them, I was acquitted. No financing found, no corruption. I am therefore convicted for allegedly allowing 2 of my aides to come up with the idea of illegally financing my campaign. Over all these years, I have assumed all my responsibilities. I naturally refused no hearing. I was taken into custody, I was questioned, examined in such a way that the presiding judge declared that I couldn't be accused of any personal enrichment. No illegal financing of my campaign, no personal enrichment. And the conclusion drawn by the court was that I must spend 5 years in prison. Even though my address is known and I can be recognized on the street and I have assumed all my responsibilities, the court ordered that the sentence be enforced straight away so that I sleep in prison as soon as possible.
Pour me voir dormir en prison le plus tôt possible.
Sarkozy, who was president between 2007 to 2012, will spend time in jail even as he said that he would appeal the ruling.
Naturellement, je ferai appel.
Naturally, I will appeal. I will probably have to appear, handcuffed before the Court of Appeal. Those who hate me so much think they are humiliating me. What they have humiliated today is France. It is the image of France. And if anyone has betrayed the French, it is not me. It is this incredible injustice you have just witnessed. I have no spirit of revenge. I have no hatred. But let everyone understand and hear this. I will fight until my last breath to prove my complete innocence.
Meanwhile, French far-right leader Marine Le Pen on September 25th called the ruling extremely serious for the country's judicial system.
First of all, I wasn't extremely surprised because I've understood for some time that a number of magistrates seem to have a kind of trophy wall where they try to pin as many politicians as possible. So you can imagine that a former president right at the top of that wall. What's certain is that this decision, which comes after mine, raises a major issue. Some courts are completely disregarding the principle of double jurisdiction. In France, we have the right to 2 levels of jurisdiction. It's part of our rule of law. We have the right to appeal. We are presumed innocent until we are definitively convicted. Yet they are taking measures, like ineligibility with immediate enforcement, with regard to me, or a detention order in the case of Nicolas Sarkozy, that are meant to apply even before the appellate judges who must be getting annoyed by this have made their decisions. I see it as a kind of break with the fundamental principles of our legal system, especially, and once again, I believe that sentencing a president to prison before he has even been definitively judged is extremely serious in light of our rule of law.
Sarkozy, once hailed as the hyper-president, has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for criminal conspiracy, accused of secretly accepting cash from Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi to fund his 2007 election campaign. Sarkozy, 69, immediately denounced the verdict as a scandal. Though out of office for 8 years, Sarkozy remains influential on the French centre-right, advising President Emmanuel Macron as mainstream parties battle Marine Le Pen's far right. Yet his legacy has been repeatedly tainted by scandal, alleged bribery, campaign overspending and, above all, the murky Gaddafi affair. Prosecutors pieced together circumstantial evidence. Franco-Lebanese fixer Ziad Taqiyuddin claimed he ferried EUR5 million in cash from Tripoli to Paris in suitcases. Sarkozy's chief of staff rented an unusually large safe, and campaign aides received EUR250,000 in unexplained cash bonuses. Taqiyuddin retracted his testimony in 2020, but investigators suspect witness tampering. Carla Bruni Sarkozy, the former First Lady, is herself under scrutiny for alleged interference. Sarkozy insists the case is politically motivated and stresses that, after more than a decade of investigation, no direct proof of Libyan money has been found. But prosecutors say the pattern is unmistakable and point to the spectacle of 2007 when Gaddafi pitched his Bedouin tent in the gardens of the Elysee Palace, an event Sarkozy defended as gratitude for Gaddafi's role in freeing Bulgarian nurses jailed in Libya. Sarkozy's own rise was a study in audacity. He climbed from modest schooling to become mayor of affluent Neuilly, then interior minister and finally president in 2007. He mastered television politics, famously helping rescue children during a 1993 hostage crisis, and married model singer Carla Bruni weeks after taking office. Even as Macron seeks his counsel and the French right struggles for leadership, Sarkozy has promised to fight until my last breath. The verdict, however, locks in a remarkable reversal of fortune. From the pinnacle of the French state to a convicted conspirator at the centre of one of Europe's most sensational political corruption scandals. First meeting. Nicolas Sarkozy, then France's interior minister, visits Tripoli. He meets Muammar Gaddafi for the first time. Aides visitent Libya. Sarkozy's aides, including Brice Hortefeux, visit Tripoli to meet with Libyan terrorists. Presidential victory. Sarkozy wins the French presidential election. Prosecutors later alleged this victory was bolstered by Libyan funds delivered. Allegedly, funds delivered via intermediaries such as Ziad Taqiyuddin in suitcases of cash. Gaddafi visit. Sarkozy hosts Gaddafi at the Elysee Palace in Paris. They sign 10 billion euros in trade contracts. Gaddafi overthrown. Gaddafi is captured and killed by rebels in Sirte, Libya. It was followed by NATO-led intervention spearheaded by Sarkozy's France. It marked the end of the dictator's 42-year rule. First allegations. Taqiyuddin, a Franco-Lebanese businessman, alleged he had proof that Sarkozy's campaign was funded illegally by the Libyan regime between 2006 and 2007. Case opened. French prosecutors open a formal investigation into allegations that Sarkozy's successful 2007 election campaign received illicit funding from the Libyan leader. Sarkozy found guilty. Sarkozy is jailed for 5 years for conspiring to finance his 2007 presidential campaign using funds from Gaddafi. Sarkozy's conviction marks an unprecedented moment in French politics, reflecting the power and independence of the judiciary while deeply polarizing the nation. The verdict erodes his status as a conservative role model and disrupts the French right just months before presidential elections, fueling ongoing debates about justice and political vendettas. Supporters denounce the punishment as excessive and politically motivated, while critics see the decision as a vital assertion of legal equality and the rule of law. However, the ruling risks deepening distrust between the public and political elites, indirectly benefiting far-right movements. The immediate enforcement of the sentence, despite appeal rights, adds controversy and may have lasting repercussions for France's political climate.